Good afternoon, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araipur. You can call me Dr. A if it's easier. So I sent you several emails slash announcements as of a couple of weeks ago, asking you to explore the course. Here's the homepage of Canvas. So first, there's a welcoming message. There's a minute or 2 minute long welcoming you to the course. I'm happy to have you here. Number two, just we follow the numbers. Class philosophy and course objectives and so forth. Uh, this class is a community and therefore we all have the same objective to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. I want to make sure everybody understands what I mean by that. Imagine you're in a class and you have a fellow student and you want to help. Okay, or if you need help, you can ask a fellow student. Please understand that doesn't mean that you can do that for the exams or anything like that. But other than that, you can. Course objective. The primary objective of our Survey of Calculus 1 course includes the foundational principles of calculus, an integral branch of mathematics that delves into comprehending rates of change and accumulation. In other words, it will look at differentiation, um, integration or anti-differentiation, optimization, word problems, and so on and so forth. Here's my email address if you need to get in contact with me, or you can go through the inbox of Canvas. All right, going back to the homepage of Canvas, the next one, number 3, is the announcements. Let me put this in student mode. There were several announcements sent to you. So if you click on the announcements right here or here, it takes you on the left navigation bar, takes you to the same place. These are some of the emails announcements that have been sent to you, basically welcoming you to the course and asking you to explore the course. One of them, of course, is the recorded orientation from a previous semester, and now the new one, I will put them here as it becomes available. Going back to the home page, number 4, we have a bunch of stuff underneath. I want to look at this left piece first, the Zoom meeting. You're here, obviously you know what to do, but what it means is that on the left navigation bar, click on the Zoom meeting and simply join. Okay, so that's how you join the class. So what do we see under number 4? Syllabus, modules, which covers the practice test, homework, quiz, exams. At the end class, at the bottom, you see the office hours. You can find it under the syllabus or at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas. So let's look at the syllabus. You can click on the syllabus here or on the left navigation bar where it reads syllabus. You see two things, a calendar and the syllabus. So let's look at the calendar. All right, here's the calendar, and there are a couple of assignments coming up immediately. One of them is Introduction to MyOpenMath, which I asked you to do it today. We will see how and where to find it. Then the algebra review is prior knowledge of mathematics. You're checking to see how much you know. And then every week we have a quiz roughly, and every 3 to 4 weeks we have an exam. Notice the exam 1, for example, is set on Saturday. Okay, here's what happens. On the beginning of the week, on Monday of that week, you receive an email that gives you the information about the exam, including the password. And then from the time you receive that email / announcement, if you miss that, go to announcement. Okay. Then you can take the exam anytime you want before the due date. You don't have to wait until Saturday. Okay. That's why you have the entire week in essence. All right. Same thing happens with the rest of the exams. The final exam has 2 parts. Part 1, you take it on Saturday, just like any other exam. It's through MyOpenMath. And then part 2, the time of the final is set by campus. And Every course has a specific time. Again, we'll discuss it as we get closer to the time of the final. That's the second part of exam 2. And I'll tell you what we do as we come across it. So that's the syllabus. Now, this was the calendar. The syllabus itself, it starts with welcoming you to the course, giving you the information about the course, the section number, the time, the Zoom link, and so forth. And then the topics, because syllabi are getting larger and larger by the volume, and it becomes so much. That's why I put them in topic format, so in case you don't want to look at each and every one of them. So I'm going to quickly cover all of them, and with more details, you can look at them. Starting with the material, we will cover chapters 1 to 5 of the text. The text, by the way, is here. You can also find it under my OpenMath, and it's free. Everything is free here, okay? The text, the digital platform. I tell you how to access your calculators, also online calculators for free in case you don't have a calculator. We have course description, course goals. This is a this can be represented as a G course, so that's a G fulfillment. And we have the student learning outcomes. Text, you can find it here, or as I said, I will show you in my OpenMath. It's free and it's by OpenStax. The online assignment is done in my OpenMath, short, mom, and again, free. Here's the class calendar. Every 3 to 4 weeks, we have an exam. All of the exams take place on Saturdays. The final has 2 parts. The first part, like any other exam, the second part takes place at a specific time and a specific, date as set up by campus, and you have it for yours on 5/15, okay? So final exam has 2 parts. There's no proctorio, but I want to make a point here. I'm assuming you take the exam on your own. I'm assuming everybody does it on their own, and there is, it is as though you take it on campus, okay? I can't emphasize this enough. Meeting important is calculators. You may use a scientific calculator for the exam, no graphing calculator, but there are free calculators available online, okay? And I put them here in case you don't have a calculator, you don't have to pay for anything. So having said that, tech support, math tutorial center, grading policy. It may be easier to discuss it here. So we have online homework, 200 points. That means the introductory assignment to my OpenMath and the algebra review and the rest of it. So total 200 points. Quizzes 100 points, all the tests 100 each, and the final comprehensive 300. Total of 1,000. For online homework, as long as you do it before the due date, there is no limit how long it takes you to do. But the rest of them are timed. All quizzes are timed. All exams are timed, okay? And you have to show work only for the exams, test 1, 2, 3, 4, and the comprehensive final. There's a point system, 90% is and above, that means 900 points or more is an A. 80% and above, 800 to 899 is a B. 70% and above, 707 all the way to 799 is a C, so on and so forth. Also, there will be 4 exams, right? So your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score. If the final score is B, that means 80% or higher. Homework grades and quiz grades are at 95% or higher. And finally, this action will result in a higher letter grade. If we do all of them and your course grade doesn't change, then it defeats the purpose. I hope everybody's clear. Now, the submission requirement, I can't emphasize this enough. Each exam is graded using 2 components. 80% from the digital platform by OpenMathMob, and 20% from a single PDF uploaded to the corresponding exam assignment in Canvas. The 20% PDF component is awarded only if the submission contains detailed, step-by-step, handwritten work and is uploaded within 5 to 10 minutes of completing the exam. Late submissions or multiple uploads will receive 0 points. Let me be clear what's happening here. I just want to make sure that there's no funny business because there have been some funny business in the past. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what that means. So 80%, you go do your work in my open math and you get your 80%. But you have to show work. You have a piece of paper next to you. You write question number one. You don't have to write the question, but you write the solution step by step. Same thing, two, three, four. Some of the questions, for example, let's say question number four is a graph. It's asking you where the function is increasing. And you just write the interval that is increasing. There's nothing you show work. Okay, so you skip that. Then number five, you show work, so on and so forth. That is one PDF file, and within 5 to 10 minutes will be uploaded. Otherwise, it is not acceptable. We will discuss that further as we come across. Test and makeup. There's no makeup exam because you have the entire week. On Monday, you receive an email with a passport. You can take it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, any day before the due date. If something extraordinary happens and you have proper documentation acceptable by campus, I may give you a makeup exam. Course late policy, you may use it for some of the homework with a 10% deduction. I suggest you don't do that, but you can't use it for any of the quizzes, any of the tests, or module 4 assignments. CSULB 36, basically, it indicates that students need 3 times the number of unit hours per week for a 16-week semester to be successful. In this case, this is a 3-unit course, so we need 3 times 3, 9 hours to do well, okay, per week. Then dropping policy, disability, plagiarism, and so on. You can read about it on your own. One thing I want to make sure, if you're registered with, the SPS office, make sure you talk to me privately, of course. We set up a breakout room to talk to anybody privately, so we can take care of the business. All right, as we move on down, basic needs, the information, summary to success. Carefully study the lecture PowerPoints. Creating a formula sheet. I want to explain that. It's really a good idea to set up come up with a formula sheet or index cards. You cannot use it for the exam. I can't emphasize this enough. Doing the examples, doing the homework, doing the quizzes, and getting ready for the exam. Office hours is mentioned here, as well as the homepage of Canvas, which takes place on Monday, Wednesday, 12:50 to 2:05, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 9:45, and that's the end of the syllabus. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, we have the modules, okay, and the discussion forum. Because module covers everything, let me go over the discussion forum first. Again, you can click on it here or here, makes no difference. What do you see? Student bios first. So I put mine as an example. You can put yours if you like. You don't have to. This is not being graded, everybody. You don't have to. It's your choice. If you want to read about your fellow students and your fellow students to read about you. If you want to reply, please do so with utmost respect, nothing else. Frequently asked questions. In the past, some questions came up. I put them together here as a FAQ, frequently asked questions, such as how to use the editor, math editor in Canvas. Do I need a course ID to register with my open math? The answer is absolutely not. I'll show you how to register on their modules in a moment. Text, it's free, you don't need it. I mean, it's online. Everything else is explained. And this question comes up, where do I find the exam pathway? I just mentioned it. Announcements with the exam title are emailed to students and have all the information, including the exam password. Final exam, it has 2 parts. Make sure to read about it in the syllabus and the announcements. I've already explained that, and we will go over it again. So that's the discussion forum. Going back to the homepage, the last thing is modules. Modules is where you find the practice test, PowerPoints, solution to practice test. You do your homework, quizzes. We can click on the module here or here. So look at the modules. What do we find? Let's discuss that from the top to the bottom. Number 1, It says, my OpenMath acts as your online homework. No need for course ID. That means this one, everybody. So click on that. Then what do you do? Click on that. You either have an account, which means you have a username or password, or you don't. If you have an account, you sign in. If you don't, you create an account. It's very simple. Probably you want to save the same username and password for your Canvas or email, something nice and easy to remember. Okay, so you register. When you register, then it'll take you to my OpenMath. Okay, but for now, we're going to leave it for you to register if you haven't already. The next one, recorded lecture exams and review. We're going to come back to that, by the way. We have lectures from previous semesters. For example, this is the last one from the beginning to the end. If somebody wants to go ahead and watch them, I've had students who were interested in doing the work in advance. You're more than welcome to do so. It's there. However, the new one, this one, will become available as soon as we start the recording. Okay. It also has instruction on taking the exam. All right. Going back to the modules, so we covered the first two. Now, this is exam 1 module, exam 2 module, repeats in the same manner, exam 3 module, exam 4, and so on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over one of those modules, and first I'm going to look at the last one. What do you find here, everybody? This is a resource about a calculator, TI calculator. So take a look. The very first page tells you how to download an emulator for a TI calculator that may or may not work. If it works, you will get a calculator like this. Okay, everybody? If it works, and it may not. Okay? But there are other online calculators. And the reason I mentioned, because I believe everything should be free for their students, okay, including calculators. So if you don't have a calculator, you can try this. And then the TI calculator commands, so on and so forth. Okay, that's what we have here, everybody. In an email. That's the last one. Now, the rest of them are similar. Okay, in that, for example, the first one starts with exam 1 review. So what do we have here? I want to show you. Take a couple of minutes to read this. This will be the synopsis of what is being covered for the first exam. It has the question and it has the key. Now, all you have to do 1 or 2 questions per day. That's all. That's not a lot. By the time we get to the week of exam, you're done with this. And you have enough practice to do well with your exam. So the first one is the exam review. What is the second one? These are all the lectures that we will go over in the form of a PDF file or a PowerPoint. So in the form of a PowerPoint, for example, I bring it up. Okay. So when I lecture, you have access to these PowerPoints. You don't have to write any definition, any formulas, not even the examples. So what do? You write the solution to those examples as I go through that. So you do have everything. So I want you to have the minimal amount of writing. But when it comes to the examples, you don't see the solutions. The solutions are offered to you in class. If for any reason you miss that, you can watch the recordings. So the first one was the exam review. The next one was where you find the lectures. And the last one for the module 1 is the solution to that exam review. Now, this one is available, and we go through that. We go over that during the week of exam, it has the question and the solution. Each question and solution, step by step, done. You don't have to write anything. Okay. Remember, you have done your exam review, one question or two questions per day, so you can check it out here. So under the modules, the top one, you find the digital platform, recorded lectures. The next one is the first module you work with, and the rest of them repeat, except the last one that gives you access to a calculator. So now you've done that, you're ready to go to my Open Math. So you've registered, remember, right here again, right here. You have registered for my Open Math. It takes you to my Open Math. What do you find here? First, you find Introduction to my Open Math. This is the one that you're going to do today. And this will help you get to know this digital platform. Let me just make sure that it's ready. Okay. Then the next one is algebra review. This is a pre-test algebra review showing you your prior knowledge of mathematics. Then I'm going to expand it. You have the first quiz coming up, then quiz 2, 3, and then exam 1. You don't have to worry about it yet, but this is where you find all your exams and quizzes. And remember, you have to show work and upload it to Canvas. Course description. This course is an introduction to differential and integral calculus. Here's the so the calendar is found in MAL. Notice these two are red. That means these two assignments. The first one is introductory assignment. The second one is algebra review. They are due immediately. Then you have a quiz per week. Then the exam. And right before the exam, you see all the homework. I want to make sure everybody understands. Should we do all the homework here? No. You have to do the homework on a daily basis. If you click on them, it brings them up. That means when I finish a section, I say, okay, it's time to do the homework. So if you miss a session, make sure you hear me. After we're done with the section, it's time for you to do the homework. Now, underneath, we have module 0, module 1, okay, module 2, 3, and 4. Now, modules 1, 2, 3, 4, as they are in Canvas, those are the stuff that we are going to do. I want to first discuss module 0, then I'll show you module 1. Module 0, as the name indicates, resources. So you can find the text, gradebook, calendar, late pass, online calculators, chapter review, and so forth. So if you click this one, okay, it takes you to various pages of a text. Here's the text, and you can view it as a PDF or online. Okay, you don't have to pay for it. It's by OpenStax, and it's free, everybody. As you go down, I'll use a late pass, gradebook. By the way, when anything expires, if you click on your grade, you can bring them up in practice mode. Free online calculators. Various free online calculators were given to you in the syllabus. Also here, for example, Desmos calculator, and a video shows how to use it. Now, look at this one. The last one in module 0 is chapter review. If you need to review some functions, trigonometric functions, exponential, logarithmic functions, factoring, everything is here. Nothing is being graded here. It's just a resource and a help. Now, you can do the homework here, but I don't suggest you do that here. Why not? Well, I would click on module 1. First, it looks like that. I will expand 1.6, then you can expand chapter 2 as well and look at each section and so forth. Okay, so you can expand the section and so forth. So what do you find here? First, you find the reading. If you're interested in reading, it tells you where to find the topics. Then there are some videos here. Besides our lecture, there are some videos here. They may be helpful, everybody. I suggest you look at a couple of them, see if you like them, okay? That's why you can do the homework right here, but if you go through the module, you have access to the videos also. When you start the exam, when you start the homework, see, it says 1.6 homework. Notice as you do this homework, also it has a question help in the form of a video. The next one, the same thing. This one doesn't have help. In other words, some of them have help, some of them don't. And I've seen students using the help and basically acing each and every one of the homework. So that's how you do that. But to show you how it works, I'm going to look at the introductory assignment. So the introductory assignment is asking you this question, and it says enter this. The moment I click right in this box, it opens a Matplotlib if I need a fraction, if I need a square root, and so forth. I just want to put the number 46.7579. So it says put the number. Now I want to round it to the nearest hundreds. So 46.75. 5 next to it is 7, goes up to 6. I hope everybody understands what I'm talking about. 5 next to it. Can you divide by 0? No, it's undefined. They don't have it. DNE does not exist, will do the job. And what do? I submit question. The moment I submit question and I see the check mark, I receive my grade as well. It is registered. You don't have to do anything. It's registered in my OpenMath. It says put 1/3 and enter it with 4 or more decimals. It's 0.3 bar. On purpose, I'm going to put 1 decimal. And it's wrong because they asked for 4. So notice, it says it's wrong. So what do? Do I move on? No. I get a similar question. It happened to be the same one. This time, I put as many decimals as they asked. Now, if I submit, notice check mark. So I did not move on. I got my point. I did it right. And again, it is registered. If you go up there and you click on done, here's what it does. It gives you the points that you received already. And it says the rest are unattempted. What do? You want to resume or you want to exit? If you resume, you continue working on it. If you exit, you can come back. When? Before the due date to finish the job. But it has already registered what you have already done. So let's quickly recap. Here's the home page of Canvas. We have the welcoming message, the philosophy, announcements. The Zoom meeting is here. Discussion forum is here, and it has 2 discussion forums. Bio and frequently asked questions, none of which are graded. Syllabus can be found here or here, makes no difference. It has the calendar and the syllabus. At the bottom of the page, you see the office hours. And the modules, first you find my OpenMath, then the recorded lectures, then exam 1 module. And when we are done with that, the rest of them repeat. At the end, we have a TI calculator. When we register here, we go to my OpenMath. We start with the very first assignment and then the algebra review. Module 0 contains resources. Module 1 is where the homework begins for module 1. That's all there is to it. I hope everybody is comfortable with that. It's very straightforward, everybody. I wish you all best of luck and happy study. All right.